Where?
Helps if I join, I guess, right?
There you go. All right, we're here. Just make sure that we're recording. Yes, we are. Exciting. Okay, we'll give maybe 1 or 2 minutes to see if anybody drops by.
Sounds
So
good.
we have already one person, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine. Welcome. Got my tea.
Yeah, I know there's a handful that want to see this, but they can't make it. There's things going on. Like my good friend Hans, I gave him a hack. I said, "You're supposed to be there. If nobody else comes, you have to be there." He's got a meeting tonight and a dinner. I said, oh, "Okay, I'll let you off the hook." But
Yeah.
he's waiting to see it too. So there's quite a few that want to see it. It's just not conducive to um, yeah, to necessarily this time and date. But I know they want to see the replay. So
Everyone's busy these days. It's like, I mean, I feel like, but we say that all the time. Everyone's always busy. We always got things going on. It's always a thing. Oh, let me turn off.
is it snowing up your way right now?
Very little.
Oh no, like I can't see my car.
What?
I'm not
Really?
talking feet. Like I just mean it's covered, but not like
Oh, you know
feet.
what? It's starting now. When I just came back from dinner and it was like a little bit, and it's starting now.
Yes, I've been speaking with the elements, and I've asked them to please bring it to you.
To me,
Yeah, you're going south, girl. You're not going to see it for long, so give me a
that's fair
break.
enough. I actually did miss the snow when I was gone, so I will say yes. And we haven't had much snow since this year. I guess we only really had like one real snowfall that I've seen.
The last few years has been light.
Well,
It has. It's been light. It was colder more so than snowy. But
yeah,
everything I'm getting is it's going to be snowy and not as cold, which, as you've seen, we've been mild. So
yeah.
I think this is going to be the year of the snow.
I hope so. Hey, I'm here for it. If it's not freezing cold, I'll go out and play in the snow. I'll do it.
Yeah, but you're only here for how much longer?
5 more days. Give
Oh,
me
yeah. Oh, my. Don't even go there.
no. Oh, I
Hi,
know.
Karen.
Hi, Karen. You're
Oh,
here
we've got
twice.
Karen in there twice. Do you see?
Yeah, I don't know how.
It might be on her end if she's clicked, maybe.
Yeah, it could be her phone and her computer, or it could just be a glitch. Karen, if you want to put something in the chat, I can remove one of your participants. I just don't know which one. Let me check my email, make sure nobody sent me an email about this. Okay. All right. You guys can feel free to ask any questions either in the chat, or if you have like a specific question, we can bring you on live for a second, like on video and camera, and you can always ask your questions there. So just let us know. Oh, on with you. It's frozen and can't hear anything.
Hmm?
Karen commented, I'm on with you. It's frozen and can't hear anything.
Oh, she's back
Weird.
down to one. I wonder if that's. She may have to go out all the way. I've seen that happen on Zoom before.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier just to leave and then come back in.
Yes, I told her that. Elaine, can you hear us and see us okay? I imagine it's not a problem on our end, because I don't think I would be able to see each other if that were the case.
No, yeah, and we're hearing each other okay, so I would say that it's. See, she's back in with two again. Just leave it with the two. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Just leave it. Can you hear us now, Karen? I guess she's in, right?
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Nice to see you join us, Elaine. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. Can you guys believe 2023 is in a month? Ooh, gives me goosebumps.
Gonna be
Ooh.
beautiful. Gonna be beautiful.
Now there's three. Karen, how is there three of you? Oh, now there's only two. So weird. Never
She's
seen
in Australia and she's in Canada.
that. Joining us from all over the globe.
She's split.
Yeah, let me make sure there's no messages here. Anything. So strange.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
well, now
seen
there's
that
none.
happen before, and I don't remember. It's been so long. I don't remember how it was a resolution, but I think no matter what she does, if you turn one of them off, sometimes they just one will just disappear at some point too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Okay. Well, here we are. How are you feeling today? Good.
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's busy. I've got, as I said to you, I have a client that I'm serving combo to tomorrow. So, and she may stay. I think it's going to be a 2 day event. She needs a lot of work. She's having a really tough time, like a lot are right now. So,
Mm,
when people are having a difficult time like that, I don't like them to go home when they're in that place
yeah.
after the first few ceremonies, because of course, when they're already feeling like they don't want to be here, and they start integrating and releasing to any magnitude, I'd much rather her be here with me. And um, yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, she has family, but right now she doesn't even want to be with her family, like her husband and stuff. She doesn't even want to be there. So
Yeah.
I suggested, I think, yeah.
Come stay here for a bit. Yeah, I was thinking about you in this call yesterday because I hopped on a call with the first person that served me combo ever. And we were talking about the 3 day that I did, and yeah, I just every day I fall more and more in love with that medicine, and I think it's awesome. So let's jump right in. Why don't you tell me kind of about your upbringing and how you kind of, I don't want to say stumbled upon this path because I don't think that we stumble upon it, but how you began this journey with medicine work and just becoming Mother Owl or finding Mother Owl within yourself, I guess you could say.
Her mother owl finding me.
Mother Owl finding you. That's true.
Well, it's one of those things where, like everybody, from a young age, I mean, obviously, this was meant to be before I was even born. I did not recognize it till much later. It's one of those things where I was always that young girl, young lady. It didn't matter what age I was. I always believed in there's magic somewhere. There's something more. There's always something more. And even through navigating through some very difficult times in life, and I mean, right from the get go, right through. Of course, I was learning lessons much later, and walking that path. Um, as it came to be, I really got pulled to do Reiki, and that's kind of where it started. Reiki, and I was a paranormal investigator. In fact, I still am. Haven't been doing it for quite a while now because, of course, time has not been allowing it, given all the things that I need to do. But yeah, that's where it started. It was doing the energy healing, and fast forward a decade, literally, and then I met up with my I call her my sister because she is in every way. Rose and I do retreats and whatnot together, and we met together. We have a past life connection, and she was already trained with Kambo. So she introduced me to the world of medicine, and then the two of us navigated together with spending a few years just literally like every 4 weeks, 6 weeks, doing a lot of work on ourselves personally, um, doing a lot of releases, cleaning out, getting rid of the blockages, et cetera, and so on. So yeah, so that was kind of where it began. And and then fast forward, I was working with a Deborah Tate, who is a wonderful Indigenous woman off of Manitoulin Island, who I'm still working with trainings. But I've been working quite some time with her for the shaman practitioners and other things. So I also do the shamanistic stuff as well. So, and it's just been kind of rolling since then, and it's opened up. I've got a very strong connection. I travel in dimensions I didn't know existed.
Mhm.
other stuff that I do in my sleep that which I found out through asking Spirit, why am I so exhausted, especially right now, because through COVID, I do stuff while I'm sleeping. So I couldn't understand why was I always so tired. So that explained it completely because there was so much going on. I mean, essentially, the long and short of it is I cross people over in my sleep ongoing.
Yeah.
So, of course, in COVID, there was a lot of that going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I really needed to find out am I sick? I'm not exactly a young chick, and I'm not old, but I'm not a young chick, and I'm in my late 50s. So, it was one of those things where I was a little concerned. So,
It is one of those things. I'm just going to quickly welcome everybody. We've had a few more people join us.
Yep.
This is the Mother Owl Initiate Live, so we're going to be kind of doing a little bit of a Q&A. If you guys have any questions, feel free to either put them in the chat, or we can bring you up onto the stage with a camera and microphone, and you can ask your questions. But yeah, we're happy to have you guys here. And also for the people that are watching the replay, if you have any questions that we don't discuss, feel free to reach out to Mother Owl personally or put it in the comments. And yeah, we want to continue this discussion.
Oh, definitely. That's my passion. It's helping people, however that looks at any given time. In fact, growing up, I was referred to as Dear Abby. Because everybody always came to me when they were having a difficult time or wanted some questions answered. So that's my passion. I love helping people.
Well, you're in the right place for that. You know it. Tell me about Mother Owl. Tell me about how Mother Owl found you and how you've connected with that spirit name and why you now choose to go by Mother Owl.
So there was a channeler. He's now retired. I wish he wasn't, but he is. In my early days, for about 11, 12 years, off and on, periodically, I went to him. Before I even knew what I was doing was finding out my journey going forward, because I would ask questions and they weren't your typical, I want to connect with my mom, I want to connect with my dad. It was always a lot deeper. So as I said, fast forward into the time, I got those off and on for years. And then once Rosemary and I had found each other, we were guided together. There's a whole other story there for her and I, spiritually. And it's a very profound connection. But we started having a lot of these channeling. We're talking sometimes every 4 to 6 weeks, because things were coming at us so fast that we just could not process it and figure it out. It was crazy. So going to channelings, I recorded everything, transcribed it into a book. I have a full book of all of the readings that we had done. And what it boiled down to was he started to guide us and tell us, keep doing the work you're doing. Of course, I did a lot of medicine work, working with shamans. I was doing psilocybin, I was doing ayahuasca, I was doing kambo, I was doing bufo. It all depending on when these people we knew in community were holding the events, we were there. However often we could be. Did the work, and Spirit came in, and the channeler that I used to speak with, who's actually incidentally one of my guides now, was Zoltach. And Zoltach, with his guidance, had said that yes, he said, this is your spiritual name, and you need to go by this name and no other. So for the most part, the majority of my clients know me as Mother Owl. Owl stands for Overwatcher of Light. So there's actually another connotation to that. When I work shamanically, I do have the various spirit animals that I connect with on the other side to do work. The owl is prominent. My cat and my owl are the two very prominent spiritual animals that I have with me pretty much all the time. And of course, through the course of what I do at night, which again, that's a whole other story. There's a lot that I do, but the long and short of it is I do cross people over in my sleep. So with doing that, they're with me consistently before and after. And as it stands, what I do before I cross people over is I download soul code information from each person prior to. They're contracted to me prior to me doing this. before coming into this life, that I would be the one to cross them over. I download the so-called information, send it where it needs to go. I actually retain some of this, which is where the wisdom of the owl comes in, because I get these small downloads. They're not huge, bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah.
And it's quite unique, because I have seen doing this rarely, but I have seen it. Um, quite unique, quite
Mm-hmm.
unique. But that's kind of how it came to be, and the direction that I've gotten with. There's a program that I'm actually doing in a couple of weeks. Hans and I are doing together, but it's a program that I've been guided to do, right? And it's actually DNA activations now, and light portal channel
Mm-hmm.
things, as well as using the combo to really remove some of people's blockages in order to clear those pathways out. So there's a lot of unique stuff that I've been guided to do. It's been beautiful. I mean, it's I sometimes post how I feel after ceremonies, only because we always hear how the participants feel. It's a rare occasion that you hear following a ceremony in a short period of time. I've only done it on video once, but um, it is like no other. When you feel how that person is feeling, it's not even whether there's a smile or not. You energetically, you see, know the guidance, you know what's been going on, and when they leave, yes, we have to clear ourselves, because a lot of times I release for them and with them, but it is um, it's just very heartfelt. And there's times when my heart just explodes, because I know that spirit has come in, and as a conduit between the two of us, we have, you know, we have done some work that needed to be done, right? And you know how that's going. So yeah, it's been amazing, and and then there's only so much more. I know it's still just
Well,
beginning.
for sure. For sure. Yeah, I think it is a beautiful thing, like you speak of, that ability to be able to really like connect with the practitioner or the medicine worker and see how they're feeling afterwards, because it is, you take on a heavy load, a heavy role in that space, and then afterwards when you clear that and you kind of almost like reap the fruits of your labor, or begin to see the fruits of your labor come through, it's like it's a really beautiful experience. And
Definitely.
I appreciate you sharing that, because it's a cool perspective that we don't normally get. Talk to me about we spoke about this briefly. You moved away from practicing Reiki a whole lot, and you have found um different ways to channel light that you are kind of working with right now.
So it's not so much that I've been kind of moved away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I still honor Reiki, because it's my humble beginnings. So I do teach it still, and I still love to teach it. As far as actually doing the Reiki sessions, I start and spirit comes in and it changes every time. Like it's very difficult to stay on task in that way.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can somewhat, but the healings are not the same. Spirit, I mean, the words that I was told is that you no longer, what does Old Touch say? You no longer are doing that of the simple Reiki, because the healings that I have, I was Ojibwe in a previous life. My ancestors are Ojibwe, and actually from Manitoulin Island, the Whitefish Clan. And these ancestors that are with me, of course, are Indigenous. And I now have another guide, medicine man and healer, that's Aztec, so Mexican actually, from the tribe of he's Chief Dancing Eagle,
Mm-hmm.
which was an absolute elite tribe back in 500 BC. So he's a medicine man and healer, and I'm very honored, very honored. So when I'm doing healings and other things, um, these the guides that come in, and there's a Sioux native as well, who comes in, and the healings, instead of being 45 minutes to an hour, right? They're much shorter, much deeper, because they're coming in and they're really doing some work, right? And I
Mhm.
can sometimes see what that work is while it's happening, and it can be very, very profound. And I've now, some people think, I'm sure they think I'm crazy, but the last 4 or 5 months now, with the different connections I have, I literally see when I'm finished if something more needs to be done. People are actually getting encased in kind of a cocoon or a pod, and sometimes there's little lights on it, but sometimes those lights, there's a lot of them, and sometimes there's a pattern. It's all different. It's very unique. It's amazing. And some of the people I've worked on with cancer and other things, it literally would take.
Mm.
I have one woman with leukemia who, she always texts me and says, I always tell people I have an angel, because she will be screaming in pain and her boyfriend will be saying, I don't know what I can do.
Mm.
Because of course it's a blood cancer. It's painful. And she gets to the point where her legs are shaking, her arms are shaking. She's in excruciating pain. There's nothing they can do to help. She's taking the medication. It's not working. I'll do the work with her. And she said, my boyfriend will go, oh, so the meds are kicking in. She goes, it's not the medications. I took those 2 hours ago and nothing's happened.
Yeah.
She knows, because sometimes I get guided and I'll just go and do it. And she's actually not even a client per se. A client that I work with and her family, it's her aunt. So she's asked me
Oh, okay.
and she needs help or whatever. And I just go in myself when I feel she needs it. I don't always wait for someone to contact me. If
Yep.
I feel guided to it, I just do it. So that's kind of what the healing's turned into now.
Yep.
It's yeah, it's very profound. So Reiki, I honor it. I still teach because there's still a lot of people, and it is a stepping stone
Yes, very
for
much
me,
so.
right?
For
So
me
I
as
still
well.
teach, and I love to teach, but yeah, the healing's not anymore. No.
Tell me about ETL, energetic transfer of light.
So the ETL, this is what we're doing in a couple of weeks. Hans is going to join me. I have different sizes. I have a two. I have a 1 day. This is the first time we're going to do the 1 day. There is a 2, 3 day, 4 day, depending. I kind of manipulate it depending on what our space and time is. And then, of course, I have a full week, which are about 5 days. So, of course, there's a lot of other facilitators and that going on. The energetic transfer of light essentially I mean, the long and short of it is we work with the combo. My friend Hans, again, we have a past life connection as well. And he's very, very strong spiritually. He's also opened up to channeling and whatnot now as well. And so he's just been trained with combo this past summer. So we're working together. So he's going to be with me. So he does, and it's amazing. I've done it with him, and I actually my timeline shifted. It it was really crazy. Um, so we're going to do this upcoming event. What we're going to have is we're going to have the combo, of course, lunch, supper, whatever,
Mhm.
or lunch. I mean, sorry, a light meal, and then we're going into his time shift meditation with some sound healing, and do some more meditation work, a couple little things that way with a little bit of sound healing again, and then go into me doing the DNA activations and the light portal channel openings. Right. So
Yep.
that's kind of the short version. So that's kind of the core of it.
Mhm.
So, of course, as it gets bigger, that's when we're introducing maybe another medicine at some point. We're introducing other facilitators. It changes up constantly because I try to keep it fresh, right?
Yep.
So we'll have maybe one or two facilitators once or twice, and we change them out, and we have other modalities, and so yeah, it's pretty good.
Awesome. Something I really like appreciate about you and resonate with personally is the fact that you have interest but also knowledge in a lot of different modalities and a lot of different things. And
Beautiful.
that's part of being, a medicine person, a healer in general, is being able to have the awareness of other practices, even if you don't necessarily practice them yourself. And, every time I get on a call with you, I see your drums in the background, and I'm like,
I
yes, because
don't even think about it. My
it's
walking
sound
sticks,
healing.
my
It's
boxes, my
You got everything. I love it.
Actually, it's funny. If you want to hear a quick story, that little wee one, okay, so
Mhm.
that little one there, that's a bear skin.
Oh, wow.
So they're all different. I have deer, reindeer, bear, buffalo, and goat, which you can't.
Wow.
The goat is there up at the top.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yep.
But that bear, So I have a very close friend who's a shaman, who is one of the ones actually I've walked with, and with his teachings off and on through the work I was doing on my own. And so anyways, he makes drums. He's made each of these for me.
Wow.
So that little bear skin, before I even got there, most of the drums he had made, he had sold at that point. We was going to make a few more, and he said, I have two small ones because they're only an 8-inch. That's a really tiny one. And he said, if you want one of those for now, I said, yeah, I don't need big. I'm little. I don't need big. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah. Anyways, went there. He said, I already know the one you're going to have. I've already been shown, but I want you to pick it. And I walked in immediately. I pointed at it, and it was the same one.
Wow.
So we were in another room where he had his drums, and he has quite a few shapes and sizes and skins. And excuse me, go into his room, and I walked in, and when I turned around to go back out the door, there was the bear standing right in the doorway. And he was just kind of standing with his paws just kind of in front, standing up, and just standing there, and just like, I was overwhelmed. I was started shaking. The vibration was crazy, and which I felt when I actually picked it up as well. It was extremely strong. So fast forward, so I start doing my shamanic work. So I don't know if it was the shamanic extractions. I think it was the shamanic extractions the very first time I had to practice it when we were being taught. And I was being guided to get the bear drum. So I went and got the bear drum. So I go in. So as I said, there's a you know, I don't want to say protocol. I can't think of the word. Anyways, what we do through the process to actually do the extraction, which can be quite dangerous actually. But yeah, so through that process, we have to raise our energy, our arende, right? Before doing that. Because when you connect, sometimes it's only for like a minute, and you got to go back and get that spirit energy up again to make sure you're completing it all safely and you're connecting. So I go in, never done it before, never merged with an animal this way. And what's standing there? The bear.
Wow.
And he actually guided me how to merge, because I'm like, how am I doing this? And he's like, just follow me.
Yeah.
He showed me how to I literally laid down on top. He laid down, I laid down on top of him and just kind of melted into him. It was absolutely amazing. But as it turned out, that bear is that skin. I was meant to connect with that drum, and going forward, he is one of my compassionate helpers. So yeah,
that's an incredible story.
It is, because that doesn't happen very often. You get a skin, you connect with the animal, but to have the connection in that manner.
Yes.
I was very honored, and bears are very, very strong healers. So
yeah,
it was amazing.
That's incredible. I'm just going to remind everybody that the floor is still open. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat or let us know and we'll bring you up on stage. I also, before I forget, I'm just going to throw this in the chat here as well. I'm going to throw in just the link to your website, the Sisters of Light website, just in case anybody is, wanting to look into a little bit more of what you're doing and your services and what you offer. It's all there on that website, so definitely go check it out.
Just so everybody knows, it's Sisters of Light, because as I said, I have a very close friend and sister that rather than us have two separate websites and have to create stuff separately, and I created one website for both of us individually, as well as because we do a lot of the same things or very similar things. When you see Sisters of Light, there is one section that says Mother of Owl, but there is, under the events and everything else, it's a lot of information about the Kambo and the Bufo and all the other things, that I work with. I do serve medicines that are not on the website because, because it's something we do kind of underground, because of course ayahuasca is
Yes. So also feel free to reach out to Mother Owl. You can reach out to her on Circle, direct messages, and her email is also on that page. So please feel encouraged to connect. And if you guys are in the GTA or Cambridge area or surrounding, or find yourself in there, feel free to reach out.
And even if you're not, I can do stuff from here to where Karen is. I know she's not here with us right now, but a lot of the shamanic work we do can be done. It's like anything energetic. It's just the medicine work. The medicine work, you have to be in in the vicinity, but yes.
Yeah, naturally. Elaine is asking, what does it mean to cross people over? Share about like your psychopomp work, I guess.
Sorry, say that again.
Elaine asked, what does it mean to cross people over to you? Or
What does it mean?
yeah.
Um, I'm honored. 100%. I'm very honored. Um, in order to do that, the beings that we connect with, that I connect with on the other side, I do travel in very high dimensions. Um, I'm getting some other guidances I have to work on right now that I'm moving forward with. But doing a psychopomp is it's an honor. I mean, really, it is an honor because not just everybody and anybody, and you have to be careful who you're crossing over. I've been very fortunate. I've never had. I also have the Anubis, who often will come and stand there with me. He never says anything. He just stands there. He's there for my protection. I also have another being that's two parts of an animal, almost like when we have the part man, part goat, or the different types of things. It's just, these are different altogether.
Yeah.
So I often have them there as well near the entry, the portal, and it's one of those things where it's humbling. Um, it's I feel very honored, and it's not always the same. And as I do it in my sleep, a lot of times I am not cognizant of it because the physical body is sleeping. Spirit
Yes.
is not. My soul is not that I am.
Yes.
Although I have seen it, it's well. I can tell you one. So one time, I specifically remember because I remember saying to Spirit, "Please, you have to," because it was a young girl. Okay, I'm going to say she wasn't more than 9 or 10 years old, long blonde hair, pretty little thing, and she was bouncing around playing. It was like I was in a desert. Is the only way I can explain it. And there was a little girl over here, and she's playing. I don't know, she had like something in her hand, and she's playing. And then there was a young man over here, I'd say in his early 30s, and he was like sitting on a big rock, and it was like there were sand dunes all around us, and it was like I'm assuming, because this was the first time I'd ever seen it, that it was the portal that was by him. And he was purging, which essentially I was like, why is he purging like that? Then I realized this is the soul code information he was giving out, right? But I was seeing as him sitting on this rock, purging prior to, what I was going to be doing. I didn't actually see myself at that time crossing him over, but I do remember, and actually, I said it to Spirit, but I did one of the last channel sessions when I spoke to Soul Touch. I said, "Hey, you guys, I need to give you a message. You and Council have to realize that I am asking you if you're going to show me this crossing over. I'm good with that. I have no difficulty with that. But I'm asking you, I don't want to see children." And the first reply was, "We understand this. As a human, we know this is a difficult thing."
Yeah.
So, and that was almost 2 years ago. So with the shamanic training, it's kind of brought me around to doing the psychopomp and valuing it for what it is now, not a death, essentially, a crossing over, a transition, right? Not the human thought of, oh my God, that little girl, she's too young. You go into that human space and you're like, oh my God. So now I'm okay. I'm like, no, I'm just very honored that these beings, these people, have come to me to do this honor of transitioning them into back to where they're going, right? Which is not always the same place. It's all over, right? They don't just go to one place. So I'm not sure if I answered your question, possibly.
Yeah, Elaine said, oh, like crossing people over when they die, when they pass. Yeah.
People come to me in life and in death.
Yeah.
And when they come to me in life, I do eventually realize in a short period of time that there is a time going to come. So I don't always know right away, but I often do know within a certain period of time. Why they've reached out to me is typically sometimes, not always, not always. There's a lot of people reach out to me, and of course not. But there are some that I personally will be crossing over, and they will come to me in life prior to that happening as well, unbeknownst to them. They don't know. I will know. I will get the message. But yeah,
that's incredible. I want to talk to you a little bit about the WCLC and the events that you're going to be holding here. So for those of you that don't know or just heard, Mother Owl has her own space in the Wisdom Circle learning community where she's been sharing some really awesome articles and just thoughts and sharing little pieces of Mother Owl and your experience in that space. So feel encouraged to check that out. I'll actually throw the link for that space in the chat as well. But you can just find it in the Wisdom Circle learning community as well. And moving forward, we're going to be doing Mother Owl is going to be hosting did you come up with did we solidify on a name for it? Has there been do we have a name?
I have you know what, I can't think of it off the top of my head. As I said, I kind of went in and sat with it.
Yeah.
I do have something put up for it. I don't want to put it out yet, obviously, till we
yeah.
So no, I'm sorry, I don't have it.
That's okay. We can just announce.
It's all based around initiates.
It's all based around initiates.
Do you remember we did one of the multi-dimensional self, remember? And I said to you, we all kind of went in and I said, it was all based around the word initiate.
Incredible. Well, that's
so exciting. This is what you're seeing this. And then it's not the full name, but it is included in that one. I think it was Discover, Consult, Initiate.
Oh, I love it.
I think that's cool. If I remember correctly.
I mean, hey, when it comes out, it comes out. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your intention with that, where the kind of spark for this project started, and tell us everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's short and sweet. I mean, essentially what happened is just more guidances. A lot of times now, I used to get a lot of messages in my sleep. That's kind of changed out. I meditate every morning when I get up. And through meditation, I've run into Merlin. I check in with Anubis. I've had many different spiritual visitors that has been beautiful, and they've guided me through things. But this specifically was a guidance due to what's going on in the collective right now, and how just the energies are so unbalanced. Yeah, they're dark, but I don't like saying dark, because dark and light are not bad things. Dark is essentially, it's a good place to be, even though it doesn't feel like it.
Yep.
Right? You just, how you frame it.
Yes.
You just have to learn to navigate it, and how to go in and fix yourself, or get the help to get fixed, so to speak, and keep moving. So what happened was, I've been getting a lot of messages. I had been getting for the last 8 months. Talk to people about the ancestral healings, how much it needs to be done, the karmic, the past life, the trauma from this life, and how it's all compounded, and and all this stuff. So I was doing a lot of posts on that. Then it came, a lot of people that I associate with, a lot of them have been, a lot of them do medicine work, right? So it's first and foremost in my scope of people, because we all help one another and work with each other, with guidance in terms of certain illnesses. We all work very closely. And then I got the message, because of the fact that there are so many people that either won't do it, whether it be fear, anxiety, whatever their reasons, the blockages, as you know, subconscious and conscious, they kind of do the tussle thing that prevents people from moving forward. So it's one of those things where medicine work is not for everybody, and there are people that can't do it, right? As natural and as beautiful it is, it's just not for everybody. Almost everybody can do it, but not everybody will do it. So the guidance has been to work with people in the collective, to get them to understand that there are many other ways to go about this, that don't be hindered. I've had several clients in the last couple of years, a handful, that it's been a situation where they've gone to a doctor and they're like, there's nothing wrong with you. Well, why am I feeling this way? Why are these issues? What's going on? They do tests, they've done everything, they're giving them a prescription. Well, here, this will help you feel better, but there's nothing else I can do. That's why this is all energetic that needs to be released. So the interview process came up in combination with messages that what we need to do is we need to now reach out to the larger percentage of the collective that needs other means to move forward and get the help that they want and they need,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's so many different modalities out there now. It's just, even I keep running across people and going, what is that? Like, it's just, it's amazing. It's crazy. So that's kind of what I'm doing, is I'm going to interview many different people. And if anybody here knows, or anybody's watching this and you know somebody, even if I'm doing breath work, there can be 3 people out there doing breath work. It's not all the same. And
Yep.
they, even if they're doing the same thing, this person may not resonate with this person, but they will with this person.
Yes.
The whole
100%.
idea is I'm not restricting it to one breathwork person, one this, one this. It's going to be everything out there other than medicine work. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of why, because the higher percentage are the ones that probably will not navigate into a medicine realm. So
Yep.
let's get it out there with what all of the other things that people do to help people, so that
Yep.
everybody has somewhere to go aside from just getting prescriptions. And I'm not knocking doctors and prescriptions necessarily. I just feel that
Yep.
there's a lot being done in that manner at this point in time that needs to go in a different direction. But yes, of
Yeah.
course, we still need medicines and other things that we do. But yeah, we need to get to the root
It's
of
also
the
like a support thing. Like, I think they all very much so complement each other, when you're familiarized with, certain techniques of breath work and their benefits, and maybe certain techniques of other things and their benefits. And then maybe if you do feel at some point you want to dip your toe in medicine work, you have those tools in your everyday life to be able to support you in that. And vice versa. If you're already in the world of medicine work, a lot of these tools can help support like integration. And I think I think it's a really incredible initiative.
well,
I'm personally really excited.
some of I mean, what comes down to, a lot of people don't understand, is I think you and I talked about, and to kind of condense it, we're all walking around. Thankfully, I've done a lot of my clearings to bring myself into the energy of who I am now. But I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm going to say 95%. I'm just kind of over the top. Um, Years ago, and I'm talking centuries, where did people go? Medicine men, right? Medicine
Mhm.
women, shamans, when they were sick. We didn't have a doctor and prescriptions and all of this stuff. So the shamans would connect, or the medicine people go in and do the work that needs to be done and clean out those energies that need to go, that have been carried forward from our parents and grandparents and so on and so forth, in this life and our last life, and whatever.
Mhm.
It was done, right? As we've gone forward in the last, however, since medicine, we had medical, became with medicines, however long that's been, a century, I don't know, more than a century, whatever it
Yeah.
is. Fast forward, that became the way to go. So all of these collective energies that we've gotten from, our ancestors, or karmic, or past life, this life, all of those traumas just keep growing and growing
Yeah.
from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, right? Now you've got people that have all these really serious illnesses like cancer, muscular dystrophy, all of the more permanent illnesses
Yeah.
that we don't have to have, right? So, and that's kind of where it is now. Is that was why I was being told, get these messages out there. People need to realize that, there's doctors and whatnot, and that's awesome. We still need them,
Yeah.
but a
Very
lot
much.
of what needs to happen right now is get to the root of
Yeah.
what the problem is.
Mhm.
And that's what has to happen, because the collective is all walking around. The majority of the population now, right, is walking around with these energies and blockages. And once some of those blockages are removed, even if it's without medicine work, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of time the blockages in the subconscious are saying, no, 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 you don't need to get rid of that. We've had this for a very long time. No, 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 just leave those there, right?
Yeah.
Once you start releasing those in other manners, people might be more apt to go the other way. It is a little bit quicker, in my opinion, doing the medicine work to release these. Um,
Mhm.
and essentially, that opens the door up, because then the subconscious starts, instead of being shut down, it starts to open, right?
Yeah.
And then it allows for more to come in and not be saying, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
100%.
So they work together
They
in a
do. They
beautiful
very
way.
much so do. And you're gonna be hosting the first one Tuesday, December 13th. That's in
Wednesday,
2 weeks.
Wednesday,
Wednesday, the 14th.
13th.
The 14th.
Is it the 14th?
Mhm.
I wrote it down wrong. I better go check my agenda when I get off here. I knew it was a Wednesday. I thought it was a Wednesday.
Oh, it is a Wednesday. I read the date wrong in my calendar. It's Wednesday the 14th.
Oh,
Not
okay. I thought it
next
was me.
Wednesday,
I
but the
just
following
everybody.
Wednesday.
I've already booked some of them. Don't tell me that. Okay, good. We're good.
Yes, Wednesday the 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
In the Wisdom Circle Learning Community. So stay tuned for that. Look out for that. We are going to be posting about it, and you'll receive an email about it prior to be able to join and or watch the replays. And yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's going to
Me
be
too.
awesome.
Me too. It's as I said, it's my passion to help people. And right now, the people that I'm working with, it breaks my heart with what so many are going through right now with these energies that are overwhelming them. They really are, and they're lost. They're literally at a brick wall. There's
Mm-hmm.
just nowhere they can go. They're not moving forward, and they're not going to until they start to clean up these energies and start coming back into the energy of this life, not all of these past lives, right?
Yes.
And they're beautiful, beautiful souls. They're amazing people. Like I said, this woman I'm going to be seeing, she has a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and everything I get. Her husband is the most amazing, patient man. Just wants her to do everything she can to get better, and she's just struggling. She's
Yeah.
having such a struggle. She doesn't. She just wants to go curl up and stay there and never move. Or better yet, I don't want to be here. Let's just be done with it. And I'm seeing a lot of that right now, and
Yeah.
it's not always about that. I mean, some of it is just people want to get further on their spiritual journey, and the blockages are preventing the connection to the degree it needs to be, right? So there's all different components to that. Although I'm finding in the collective right now, it's more of an emotional, spiritual, mental seems to be the biggest thing that's happening now from it,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I definitely feel it as well. And I think having as many supports and people that can just understand the depths of ourselves is probably one of the most liberating things. And so opening up a space like you're going to be doing with these interviews is opening up a space for people to connect deeper with other people that get it. Ultimately, like, yes, it is about the different modalities, but that's exactly ultimately what it is, and it plays in perfectly to what we're trying to do in the WCLC is connect people with their tribe and with people that they resonate with, because when you are surrounded by people that understand you and understand a little bit at least of what you're experiencing, it's a whole different level of support, and it's a whole different level of um I don't know, understanding. It
It
makes
is.
everything a little lighter when you're surrounded by people that get it, I find.
Well, the connection is a little more profound, and this is what the people I'm working with, immediately we're hitting it off, and just like you, me, and Jeffrey. I mean, it's been
Mhm.
what I've been on the pages and stuff now off and on for 6 or 8 months, but essentially it was like boom, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
me and Jeffrey and I were just like, okay, move, let's do this,
Yeah.
right? And here we are, and it's
Yep.
been what, 5 weeks, and it's going crazy.
Yeah.
And as Jeffrey and you have said, time will tell. It'll be revealed everything the way it's supposed to play out. It's amazing. Um, but yeah, I mean, as I said, one of the things that I'm getting a lot of questions about as is starting as a shaman, and as we've talked about, I have written a book. Um, it's in the publishing. It's in with the publishers. Back to me. I'm doing the editing phase right now, which has kind of been on a 5 month hiatus at this point. I just haven't had time. I'm surprised they haven't fired me. But anyways, I got to do that. But I think I'd said to you, I was just gonna just so people have an idea. Because when I was told I was going to write a book, I was told years ago I was going to write a book. Then was told again and again. So it's been about 3 times now. I've been told by spirit and otherwise. And I was like, about me? Who wants to know about me? Aha, now this is why. So here's a little
Yes.
paragraph out of the introduction that will initially give people an idea of the book that I've written, and it's about becoming a shaman. And no, I don't have a name for this yet because I've been going back and forth. So there will be eventually, but
Okay.
we're sitting with that. So here's just a little bit that will give people an idea of what it's about. I have been guided to write this book about my universal life teachings in order to become a shaman, to show others how I learned throughout life's mistakes and lessons continuously put before me to become connected with spirit in combination with my teachings, wisdom, and experience, to share with those that are guided to me for help on their path. I have written my many experiences and lessons derived from these, although many of these lessons were not learned until many years later, to help those that feel guided to become a shaman, or even guided to read this and realize there is a resonance. Some have near death experiences that create a stronger connection with the other side in one form or another. In my case, I spent a good portion of my life learning, albeit often the hard way, the lessons put before me to become who I am now. I have much love, honor, and gratitude universally in so many ways to be who I am now and to do everything I can to help others and humanity, which is so much needed now more than ever. I have always felt that a shaman was someone who was raised in other cultures, taught and trained from a young age to become a blessed shaman. In fact, I didn't really know the true origins or even all about a shaman and how they become or do what they do. I am hoping that this book will also help those in the Western world to understand that we too are humans, as are all shamans with a calling.
I love it. That's
So
beautiful.
that's another guidance, of course. And I mean, I lived a bit of a tough life, very loving life throughout, but I had to learn to navigate the light and the dark, right? Sexual abuse, watching a couple of people, I don't even know them. I traveled all over at 17, 18 years old. I left home. A couple of people were doing drugs. I never was an addictive person whatsoever or did that kind of stuff, but they'd shot up something. And I was in Kingston, didn't even know anybody I was around really for the most part. One died, one into a coma, and then the relationships and the various relationships I navigated through, and just on and on and on and on. There was a lot of learning things. And in the end, Spirit told me, you were meant to do those things. You had to live those things in order to be who you are and help people from a sacred space as opposed to a book of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It's been a ride.
Yeah. This is incredible. I'm excited for that book to come out. I will definitely be grabbing a copy for myself.
Thank you.
We spoke about that before.
Yes, we have. We have. I got to get at it. I'm hoping that this winter because that's when I really wrote it. I wrote it in 3 months. It's like 13 chapters.
Wow.
And yeah, a lot of stuff with my guidances and things I went through. And so I'm hoping that when the weather gets kind of rocky and we don't go too far and do too much, I've got to hunker down and go, okay, that's it. I'm getting this done.
There you go. It'll happen when it's meant to. It'll come out when it's ready to.
I'm getting the nudge, so I know it's going to happen sooner than later.
Yeah. That's exciting. Alrighty, we got about 5 more minutes here. If anybody has any questions that they would like to ask Mother Owl, please throw it in the chat, or we can bring you up on camera and you can ask. Elaine says, thank you. This was really helpful. I will be reaching out to you, Mother Owl. It was so nice to get to know you.
I'm honored. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you. Yes, by all means, anytime. As I said, my casa tu casa, right? I don't live on the premise that my house is my house. It is my house. It is my residence, but I share.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Is there any last little things that you want to share, Mother Owl, with everybody?
Just that for anybody that sees this or that watches the replay, just know that there are so many people out there to help you, especially if you're in a darker space right now. Don't try and do it alone. It's not a bad place to be. I know it doesn't feel like a good place. It is not a bad place. We're shown this for a reason. There are many reasons, whether it's shadow work, whether it's these blockages, these energies we carry that we need to get rid of. This year is a year that was known as the year of shadow work, and miscellaneous. And it's become much harder for people in the last 2 or 3 months because we're getting close to the end of the year and we're getting the universal push to get forward. There's no more comfort zone anymore. In a loving way, the universe is not doing it to be nasty, but they are doing what they need to do in order to help us in the collective have a balance of energies, which is not, it's far from balance.
Yeah.
So yes, reach out. It doesn't even have to be me. If you know somebody to reach out to, somebody who just has energetic modality, somebody close to you that does medicine work, however that looks, whatever it looks like, but please get a referral. Don't just go, I know, heard about a name and just go. That is something I'm very particular with. And I often tell people, we have a few people that I work with, we're all the same way. We'll even sit with each other before we'll refer people out so that we're comfortable and know that the people that are going to those people that we're referring, no matter how much we like them, love them, care for them, associate with them, it happens.
100%.
So, especially with the medicine work, more than anything, make sure that comes by referral, somebody who's been with them, sat with them, make sure you're really thorough in terms of doing that type of thing.
It's an important thing.
But reach out. Don't sit and do this because a lot of people are not aware of what's going on. It's just known as anxiety, depression. It's not known as anything further. There is a route to this, and there is a way to get to a point. There's a reason why people are paying thousands of dollars to fly out to Peru for a week or 2 weeks, right? Yeah. Because people come back with certain things, right? So, and there's a lot of people here now that can do similar work. So, whatever it is, just reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
Don't sit with us. Don't sit with us right now. Right now, we're getting the, come on, you gotta do this work. You gotta come back to yourself.
Yeah. And the WCLC can be a great space for that too. Like I find myself posting at like 2 a.m. or something, just sharing what it is I'm feeling and, connecting. I've connected with some really incredible people on this platform that I'm grateful to call friends now and have in my life. And so if you feel that you don't even know what to do or where to turn and you feel comfortable accessing that vulnerability within yourself, put a post up, see who responds, who comments, and if they resonate with you, reach out. Because
we're all here. Jeffrey's got life coaching and all the other stuff with Balthazar and things that he can do. Sam, you're very connected, very, very heartfelt. I do what I do. True Guy, whoever, I'm sure any one of us and members, it's not even just like us doing
the members.
WCLC. This is why it's called community. There's nobody that's any higher than anybody else. We're all together as a community.
Yep.
Please just come on in and if there's any one of us you feel you resonate with, or if there's somebody we can help you with wherever you live, because I know a lot of people across Canada that serve a combo, right?
Yeah. So and I know lots of people in the States and beyond.
Me too, right? So between us, there's we can help you whenever we can, like in different ways. So
and now's really the time of the Soul Tribe. I found the recent weeks and the coming weeks is the time where a lot of people are settling into their tribe, where they feel that they can be 100% authentically themselves, and that's our intention. That's what we hope you can find in the WCLC.
And it's not it's all starting to happen, but in terms of being in this type of community, they're starting to grow, they're starting to pop up, but there's still some underlying stuff happening in some of these places. Yep. So at this point in time, I really feel confident because this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to be in. Mm-hmm. So this is the place I know I was guided here, and I know this is going to be an amazing place to be with everybody.
We feel blessed to have you here, Mother Owl. It's awesome.
Thank you. I'm honored. I am blessed.
That being said, everyone stay tuned and keep an eye on the Wisdom Circle learning community, and we will be posting about Mother Owl's interviews with different practitioners, and I'm sure other events that will be coming. If you showed up live, thank you for being here. If you showed up for the replay, thank you for being here. Feel free to comment or reach out to Mother Owl. And yeah, so much love to all of you. And to you, Mother Owl, for being here. We feel so much gratitude.
Thank you for having me. I feel the same. I'm honored. I'm blessed. So much grace, love, and gratitude to you guys and to everybody else. And thank you, Jeffrey. I know you will watch this at some point.
Yes, thank you, Jeffrey.
Our love and hugs as well.
Yes. Always.
Definitely.
Okay, we're going to end it here. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
I'll hope to talk to you again soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Thanks, love. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Yes, of course.
All right, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.